All right, I should be live. Sorry for the little delay. I was setting up a way to have the chat visible to me, so now I don't have to turn around to check chat. Yeah. I have a matcha latte. It is really good. I have a kitty cat. Alright, I'll start taking my stuff out. Hi, Paolo. Hi, Lana. Hey. Hey, Pumpkin. Hi, guys. How is everyone today? Arctic Journals, hello. Hello, a watercolorist. Hello. All right. So I will start by preparing a swatch sheet because I like to have these for all of my paints, even if it's the handmade paints, whatever. It's just a really efficient way to have everything together. Doop, 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 doop. Get an idea to try and sketch my 5 Pokemons. Ooh, interesting. Are you still doing the Pinterest thing? And what's your take on it after what, 10 days? Wow. Curious, hello. Hi. Question not related to watercolors. Would you consider $100 for a brand newly released film camera to be expensive? No interchangeable lenses or anything like that. So it's like a little point and shoot, but that uses film. I don't think that's pricey, but it's hard to say without seeing it. Nah, Pokemons will be separate, and it's 12 days already. Oh, that's really cool. Yes, point and shoot. So it's newly released, so it's a new item. It's a brand new camera, right? I have a film camera, but it's like a vintage one with the interchangeable lenses and all of that. It is such a fascinating like item from the mechanical point of view. All the like feedback you get from it, like cranking the film, clicking to take the photo, adjusting the focus and all of that, opening the case to put the film in, like all this stuff is so, oh, it's so satisfying. It's difficult to find film nowadays, and it's it's not something you do if you don't have the money to get it developed, and the film. I mean, you don't have to to print out every single photo, but you still need to develop the film, and you need to buy the film as well. But if it was not this hurdle, oh my gosh, I think I would. I used to be able to buy like cheap film from the dollar store, and that's what I would put in my camera. Because I just like to like point at anything and everything and take photos of whatever. So, and also back then, well, at least for part of that time, I was working in a photo lab, a small independent photo lab. So I was able to put my own films through the developing machine when we had no other like films queued up. But that was really handy as well. Brand new camera from Kodak. I know what you mean. Oh, this is so much fun. I have a 40-year-old camera that works with film, but I think it's not comparable. Is it a point and shoot as well? Sorry. Lisbeth, hello! Spending an evening with my cat? Oh, that's awesome! That's great news! I think 100, high 23 would be a bit reasonably priced. Too expensive? It really depends. The film winding lever, it is so good. I think if someone thinks just home for one night, I mean, it's better than being at the hospital for one more night. I mean, it's a shame that you have to go back tomorrow, but at least you get this evening to yourself. Oh, the new rosa color. It's not a Polaroid. It's a Kodachrome Snaptic A1. Have you seen the cameras that you can take your old film camera and put? It's like an insert where you would put the film, but it's a capture device that turns your old film camera into sort of a digital camera. I can grab mine now that I've talked about it. Falling down. It's a little bit dusty. That's mine. Don't think there's any film in it. But yeah, it's such a like a really interesting device physically because you have this. Oh, it's already cranked, so photo. Crank that. Photo. You have this to adjust the ISO and the film sensitivity and the like aperture and all that. It's been a while since I've toyed with it, so my not that I was ever a good photographer, but I still enjoyed like all this. Oh, how satisfying! And then this is the lever when you wind up the film when you're done. So you wind it until it's all in there, and then perhaps this is the most satisfying part of it, but you pull that up and you open it in the back. Like, how cool is that? It's just so satisfying. It is such a satisfying item. But yeah. Oh, dude. ASMR. It's hard to beat that. Sorry. But yeah, I've had this one for a while. But It's mostly unused now, which is a shame, but I'm holding on to it. My old camera is a SLR with exchangeable lenses. It's really nice. Ooh. There's one thing to be said for film cameras like that, is that they don't really go outdated, in the sense that when you have a digital camera, it eventually will be more and more sensitive and be able to have higher and higher resolution photos, like the megapixels. But an old film camera like that, it stays the same. The South Scientist, name your favorite mechanical pencil. I don't have one. I've kind of been looking for a good mechanical pencil. I'm using I have two for now. I have this one. I'm trying to find ones that are a bit bigger, so it's nicer on the hands. But it's not that easy to find, and a lot of them have like a shaker mechanism that I don't like. Nice camera, thank you. And yes, I know about the electric sensor that you can now insert into... Isn't that cool? It's so expensive though. But if it was a bit more affordable, I think I would definitely get one for my camera, because that way you don't have to deal with the film, which I know dealing with the film is fun, but it's also a bit tricky now. Used to be really easy, but pff. Mine is Pentel 7mm. Is that the blue one? Mechanical pencil, Pentel Graph Gear, Faber-Castell Polymatic. Ooh. Unique Rutoga. I didn't know about the sensor. It's still quite expensive. Last time I checked, it was really expensive, like prohibitively so. But hopefully, at some point, maybe it's gonna be a bit more of a mass-produced item and less of a niche item. And consequently, perhaps a bit more affordable. I actually use a DSLR to film from above and stream too. I use my phone. Except I don't like having to take the eraser lid on and off. Couldn't you just leave it off and have it like easy? It's Slim Savant says Pentel. Yeah, that's the good one. Pentel 207. That's a nice one. The 207 is like you have the 205, which is 5mm, 207 7, 209 9mm. Pretty straightforward. And I know that the 5 not millimeter, but you know, size 0.5 lead, whatever how they say it. It's offered in many colors. I don't know if the 7 is offered in multiple colors, but probably so. Oh no, 23, no. The thing is with Polaroids too, is that you always have to buy more film, and the film, it's a bit like a printer. The film is quite expensive. Like a printer, the ink cartridges are what will break the bank, not the printer itself. .7mm Eno color LEDs are a thing. They're a bit difficult to erase, in my opinion, but yeah, they can be quite handy. Phils, hi! Hello! But with film, you always need to buy more film. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, I mean, I mean, compared to like a digital camera, basically. Because yeah, with film you need to buy more film and get it developed and all of that, and with Polaroid you need to buy more, like paper for. But I mean the print photos. All right, so that's good. I'm gonna grab a sheet of vellum right away. Painting while watching the live stream. Oh, that's perfect. Man, I miss the days where I could buy film at the dollar store. That was like, oh my gosh, 20 years ago. Unbelievable. Oh no, okay. No, I thought it was my last vellum sheet, but I still have, well, I still have one. I'm gonna have to switch to tracing paper after that. Because I was able to score that pad of vellum a long time ago on the super discount. But now it's sort of back to being very expensive. Everything is expensive. So, on the topic of mechanical pencils, where is it? I always lose track of my supplies, but I don't have that big a desk. Hold on. Where did I put it? Hey, Firecloud, hello! Hold on, I'm still looking for my mechanical pencil. Where did I put it? These as well. Oh. It had escaped. I'm like giving this one a test. It's a Nicolo from Sunstar, and its interesting feature is that it is both a 0.5 millimeter and a 0.3. Basically, if you rotate it to one side, the 03 lead pops out, and then the other side, the 05 lead pops out. And it's a bit thicker, it's not too thin, so... And it kind of matches my other one. Not that this would be a deciding factor of anything, but, you know, just gonna roll with it. I know I can get pencil grips, but they're a pain in the butt. And I've tried quite a few, and they never fit right. Hello, Firecloud's daughter. Hello. There are some very nice ones in silicone that seem really nice. I've gotten a few for iPad pencils to put on other pencils. They don't always fit right, but sometimes they do. Otherwise, I have like foam ones. Like I put one on this here. But they tend to be like difficult to properly set on a pencil. It's just tricky, and then where do you even find them? Everything is expensive. My favorite beverage is shooting up like 20% of its price in 1 month. Oh, dude. Uni also has color LEDs that are erasable. Yeah, Nano Dia. I used to really like the Nano Dia LEDs, but I stumbled upon a batch that was really hard, and then I kind of got fed up with it. Palette. I thought you could order them from JetPens. It's a bit better now, but with the like currency exchange rates and all of that, it's still expensive to order from JetPens with the shipping and all that. And JetPens is one of those online stores that you really easily get snatched at customs. And I don't think anyone really likes having to pay an extra like 30% on top of an order from JetPens. I'll have to prepare. I feel like this. I think it's uneven, or is it me? I think it's just slightly uneven. With the wrapper on the palette, I just thought it was so. It is really pretty artwork. Boop, 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 boop. This is beautiful. Oh, don't tip me, because I will go the route. It's just depend what can happen. Got my partner the Lamy 200 rollerball pen, and it closes so smoothly and nicely. I think it's kind of funny that you're saying that while I have this quintessential big pen with 4 colors in it on my table. It's ballpoint ink. It's waterproof and colors and super inexpensive, but it's kind of funny anyway. Oh, Lamy really depends on the range of Lamy. If a pen works, it works. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. I really quite like big pens for that kind of purpose because the ink is waterproof. I don't know if it's light fast, but that's not usually something that I worry a lot about when it comes to charts and all of that. And they're inexpensive, they're really easy to find, so it doesn't feel precious. I love a good ballpoint pen, but if I have a fancy ballpoint pen, I end up not really using it because I run out of refills and I don't know. Also like that these are a bit chunkier than your like standard big pen. Like this is the standard one, it's regular size. And this is just a little bit also the texture of the plastic is really nice. They're pretty affordable. The thing is I won't be able to stop with just a pen and ink. I'm sorry if I missed it, but where did you get these paints? Have you used Red Clovers? I haven't. This is my first time trying these, and they are from Etsy. This is very pretty. I've been wanting to try Red Clover Meadow forever. Well, I'm working on my review of these, so what you will see during this live is going to be part of the like kind of work I have to do to build the review. So swatching, labeling, perhaps some mixes if I have the time, and all of that. So yeah, we're basically hanging out while working. Misty gray. I now have a Sharpie. I like to label pans. I know. You guys know as well, but brand I feel is particularly relevant. And then if pigment info is available, I like to include that as well. I know that it's not always available, especially for handmade paints. Not because the person doesn't want to share the pigments, but sometimes the pigments you get, it's not particularly clear what they use to make the pigment. Or it will say something like various iron oxides, you know, that kind of stuff, which is like, okay, but which ones? Like, give me a code. I don't have enough space. Okay. So this is Misty Gray. This one is PR11N PP15 1. Yeah, the Lamy 2000s are fancy. TWSBI Echo is a really, really nice fountain pen that can hold a surprising amount of ink. Hello, people watching the review. All right, so that's 12. How do I organize these after? It's just some handmade paint makers are under the delusion that their paints are special and don't share the pigments because, yeah, that's not sort of a justification that I think is, you know, a good one, but also from my own experience with the paints, sometimes you also get pigments that are not labeled, and that's fine. Or like you create a color that's kind of a one-time color, and it's sort of a hodgepodge of things on the slate, on the mulling slate. So it's a bit difficult to find the pigment lineup for that, but for me, as long as what paints you know for sure what the pigment is are the information is given to you, I'm fine. I don't mind it. You know, it's like that. It's like the random gray from Schminke. They won't tell you what pigments are in it because it's literally a bit of everything. But yeah, copying someone else's mix is a bit silly. It's never gonna be the exact same color twice anyway, because even if you end up copying quote-unquote someone else's pigment mix, the ratio might be different, the place where you source your pigments might be different, so you don't end up with exactly the same result. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that's gonna have an impact here. So that's Yellow Earth. It's PY43. I'm very excited to swatch this palette because I really like the muted colors. Ooh, peach. Peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. I mixed it 3 seconds longer. But you know what I mean, right? You get it. Like, we can find a lot of paints within different companies that have the same pigment lineup. And it's not gonna look the same twice. So that's natural orange non-available. Hey, Lewis! Hello! I love muted colors too. Been salivating over Derwent drawings. Oh, seriously? I know they've extended the set like recently. And I think it's, you know, it's cool. It's cool. But I'm also a bit bummed out by it because the original 24 color selection was so interesting on its own. Like this range of very muted colors. I used to have that set, but I was not using it. I felt like they were perhaps a little bit too soft for me. Like they would lose their point so quickly. And yeah, at some point I had to make some space and I sold my set, but I still remember the color selection with a lot of love. Pigments are always mixtures, so you do get that variability. Although people think that having a pigment coat is a thing set in stone, and it's not. I mean, just look at the yellow, red, and brown iron oxides. You already have from the beginning, you have natural and synthetic, and then there's like a bajillion variations because it's literally like dirt that is ground to a powder, and then you mix in the binder, and there you have paint. But the rock from one place is not going to be exactly the same as the rock from another place, and the rocks from a specific layer of digging is not going to be the same from the rocks next to it. You know, it's... Ah, matcha. So delicious. Mm. The best of the swamp juices. All right. This one is Herculano Red. But I don't want to come across as a know-it-all, and most of the times I don't even say a thing when people say, oh, this pigment is not insert pigment code. In what kind of context would you get that kind of reply, Paolo? Don't ask a watercolor company what pigment is their burnt sienna. I mean, they usually tell you. I saw reviews of 72 sets, but the original 24 on my heart because of color choices in it. Hey, I'm with you there. I don't know. I mean, that's not helpful to share, perhaps, but maybe it's still on. Jackson is having a sale on Derwent. But you can pretend that I didn't say anything if you prefer. Brick red. Oh, where's copper red? Copper red is technically before brick red. Oh, this is not PB29 just from looking at it. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I mean, I tend to agree. I do think, however, that you can look at a color and have an educated guess about what it could be, right? Like if you see that like ultramarine kind of blue color, it's a fair thing to say, right? Like, oh, I think this is PB29, and then you look at it, and if it's something else, if it's a cobalt color instead, or I don't know, well, you go, oh, it's not. interesting. It looks just like it. Like, I think that's fair, isn't it? So I said this one is copper red, right? Yeah, copper red. Red PR PR 101. There we go. There are some colors out there, like phthalo green is kind of a bit of a given. Like, it's an educated guess, but sometimes it can be a guess with a lot of confidence behind it, like an educated guess that I'm 99% sure that I'm calling the color right. But yeah, like it's never going to be a thing taken for granted. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. There is a certain instance of people calling out things about paints that they cannot possibly know. That usually bothers me. Like stuff like, oh, this has filler, this has white in it. Like, well, I mean, we can never know, but you don't know either. So either like show me how you get to that conclusion. Like, I don't know, is it like you did a swatch on black paper and it was really white and it's supposed to be a blue color? You know, that kind of stuff. But when people first swatch paints and they have all kinds of opinion right away, it's always a bit weird. I'm always like, but you don't know. How could you know that? Yeah, my cat had opinions about that. Cobalt blue is a bit lighter, less tinting, and it can leave a whitish residue when you wash it out in water. Also, the granulation looks different. They mix differently too. PP29 is more reddish. I agree with that assessment. This one is a natural plant pigment. And it differs across brands. The color of the paint in the pan is often my best clue. That's a reliable info as well. I think cobalt tends to be more opaque in the pan than ultramarine blue, so it will appear a bit lighter visually. But then again, it really depends. Cobalt is another one of those pigments that, depending on how you make it, it's gonna not necessarily have like always the same hue. I know there's ultramarine green shade and there's like regular ultramarine, but overall, the main element of ultramarine that changes is not so much the hue as the granulation. It is a fairly consistent color in terms of hue. That's red brown PBR7. Ooh, I love PBR7. I should stop watching every watercolor video on YouTube. I mean, sometimes you find good ones, sometimes you find ones that are a bit silly, and that makes them super interesting. I love the silly watercolor videos. Like bruising the pigments, and the series is actually the quality of the pigment. Those were interesting takes. This one is ooh, dark crimson. Natural brown. Hematite. Also, chat, stop enabling me, like I would need an excuse. Mixing actual mud. Oh, I love mud. I'm fighting the... I'm trying to pop the pen out of its wrapper, but I have my clumsy fingers and it's kind of sticking a little bit. Up, there you go. Burnt umber, yay! I love burnt umber. And it's PBR7 too. Love that. All right. Now this one is a custom color. It is pear green. I'm really excited to swatch it. It looks a bit like a mix between a kind of olive green and green gold. Run out of space, but that's fine. That's fine. And then this color, this mountain pine color that I've always had an eye on and have been really obsessed with. Now I know this one is one of those colors that are like a bit of an unexpected mix. Like I mean, the creator told me that this one is sort of an experiment that cannot be repeated, so no pigment info. But that's fine. I don't mind. These colors look very opaque in the pan. In a sense, yes, but it's also because they tend to be like inorganic pigments that are usually more opaque anyway. It's like iron oxides and, you know, that kind of stuff. This is another color that I was obsessed with. Purple umber. It's also another one that doesn't really have any kind of like pigment details because of the way it is available to the crafter, to the artist. Oops, sorry. And then the last one is Pyrrole Red. I do like those perforated type. Oh, I do too. They're some of my favorites, seriously. I'm not swatching them yet, but I really love the palette. It looks so pretty. I completely agree with you. I cannot wait to swatch them. I'm like, can I be done? Come on! Okay, what did I say? PR2. PR254. Okay. It's done. Next, I'm gonna put these back in, and then I want to see if I can fit the extra 5 in the middle. And I have cheapo magnets to set that up. Oh man, I'm kind of I look at the colors, okay, and this is like a perpetual issue for me. These are beautiful pens, okay? You'll agree with me. And if you don't, I will inform you that making your own paint with your own binder recipe is not necessarily easy to do or very like obvious to do. And sometimes when you pan the paint, it doesn't dry like all that nice and smooth. So I think these look really good. They have that nice like muffin dome kind of thing. But these tins in general, with the brackets, that means that the bracket will come in contact with the paint. And if there's too much moisture, it's gonna rust and it's gonna like mess up the paints. And I don't want that to happen. So I don't know what to do now. And I'm gonna have to review to do. Should I just plop them in there and then eventually put them into a different palette? I can attest my first batch has all craters in it because I neglected to use a pin to pop the air bubbles. Yep. And you're always better off pouring them in layers. And that's true if you use like commercially available paint from a tube, and you refill your own pan. That's how Schminke does it, and they figured it out. You're much better off going in layers. It's a lot of a second from the left, this one? Yeah. It's a lot of work to remember to refill the pans, but at least this way they dry sort of quicker because there's less like mass of paint to dry all at once, and they tend to limit the cratering effect. They tend to the way paint dries is that if you fill a pan, it's going to dry from the edges first. And as it dries, it shrinks. So you end up with either a big like hole in the middle or a big crack in the middle. If you go in layers, you kind of limit that. And you can also fill any kind of cracks that would happen from shrinkage in the previous layers. Yeah. What do I do with the pan, guys? I don't know what to do. And these are not flat pans. I cannot just plop them back in there. But what do I do? What do I do? So how do you start a wet paint while you're waiting for the first layer to dry? That's something else that you kind of have to figure out. I used to do some little containers that were quite like airtight. You risk the issue of like if your process is not like completely controlled, there's a chance of the paint molding, so that's perhaps an issue. If your mix doesn't tend to mold, then you can keep them in there like for a couple of days, then you refill, and hopefully you can go through the like the extra paint in the jar before it dries out or gets moldy. Or you just remake the paint every time you need to refill the pans. But that's the thing though, is it going to be exactly the same as the previous iteration? Like I'm I'm gonna stop being bugged. Why don't just pump them in the palette for now? Yeah, okay. That's a very fair point. Okay, sold. People Paolo. Come on, man. I know. But I'm saying, like, what if your pigment batch is different? Like, what if the place you get your pigment from, there's a batch that's not exactly the same color? Oh, they fit in there. That's cool. Eee! Let's, case of pigment mixture, they usually mix the pigment before making the paint and only use a specific amount. That's like the more like the big companies, the more professional. Maybe the artisanal people should do it too. I used to be a bit more haphazard, randomly, when I would do paint. I had my mixture written down, but they were a bit more probably not up to Paolo standards, let's say. A tiny paper cutter. Hi. It is one of the most handy things. It's not the best one, but still, that is so freaking handy. And I was like, first time I saw a small one was when I was working at the photo lab place. We would do passport and like citizenship, that kind of stuff, photos as well. Ugh. But because of that, we had a small, like, a guillotine cutter. And that's when I was first, like, became aware of just how useful these can be. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to handle the filling in layers thing, and it just ended up filling a bunch of pans with are now partially full after drying. I mean, if it re-wets decently enough, you can decide to pour like distilled water in some of your pans to soften these, and then when the paint is soft, you transfer it to the other pans. It's a bit of a, you know, like a hassle, but it might help with the like, you don't need 20 half-filled pans. You could do like 10 fully filled ones. The professional use the measurements. Especially for mixes. For single pigment paints, you don't necessarily need a recipe as much as like info on how the pigment behaves. Like, is it hard to re-wet? Is it hard to mold? Does it tend to be like dry more crackly than others? Like that kind of stuff. Okay. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Alright, so these are actually here. Yellow earth, first color. Now that I have a proper system to dry out my paint rags, I always forget them. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Finally, painting. What does this look like? I'm gonna scoot a little bit this way. Okay, better. Seems to be re-wetting really nicely. Yes, I like to pre-wet these usually because this is cheap cellulose paper, and the swatches look a little bit better if you pre-wet. The paper anyway. Oh, that's a really beautiful hue for that pigment. I need a bit more train of thought than I do at the moment. Okay, second color is peach. Otto! Hey! Hello! How are you, Otto? I think it's kind of funny that this color gets called peach a lot because it's not exactly the color of a peach. It's a bit like the color you would get if you would take the whole peach and blend it, but I don't know, peach are usually a bit more vibrant, aren't they? It's a bit like mint. You know, the colors we name mint don't look like the color of mint one bit. How are you, Otto? Oh, did you get your toe checked out? The clay peach color. Yeah. Lavender. It's always a very, like, it's a tint of the color of lavender, basically. It looks like a very like Caucasian kind of. My little toe is definitely. How? Oh shit. Oh no! What the heck? Did the doctor tell you kind of what you can do to help it? I'm doing okay, it's kind of low battery. Oh. I would put forth the idea that everyone here is like possibly kind of the low battery kind of people. So you are within people who will get it. Or within, you are with people. A friend of mine makes paints and is rather open when it comes to sharing the mix, but she does it for a hobby and tends to mix in paint leftovers from previous batches into new paints. Yeah, and it's a bit difficult to kind of figure out what's the composition when that's the case. Well, it's because calling it toothpaste mint. No, I mean the color. Mint and peach must have some sort of appliance color naming history. Oh my gosh, Durwood! Hello! There's not a lot to do, just rest, and it should heal in about 6 weeks. Can you... Is there a way you can sort of like... either tape it with the adjacent toe for a bit more support, or... like use a splint so it doesn't bend as much? Is there really like nothing... helpful that can be done? Do you think you could have caught it in the blankets and, like, if you move during the night, that could have, like, twisted it? Yeah, I tape it to the next toe. Okay, okay. Oh my god, I would feel so pathetic if it broke because it got caught on a soft, fluffy blanket. it broke with comfort. Likely it broke before sleep, but it only started hurting in the night. That you broke a toe and it hurt much later on, that doesn't sound like... sounds awful. What? I once broke my toe because I was angry at my parents and kicked... Oh! Hi Kate, welcome! I had a hairline fracture on the side of my other foot before, and that only started hurting in the middle of the night, huh? Interesting. I mean, not fun, I said interesting. Those got broken a lot and most don't notice it ever. Mostly when you accidentally slam them into stuff while walking. Which I do a lot, Lena. Sorry, but I can relate. I'm always bumping into things, and it's not because I don't look where I'm going. Sometimes, like half the time, I really like intently look at where I'm going because I have to walk over something. And even if I'm looking at it, I'm still gonna get like caught in it. Always. And I'm like, I guess I'm too old for coordination. I broke down 1 month and put together an Etsy handmade watercolor palette and included Red Clover With Addison and Sedgwick, Poems About You and Dusty Bee. Oh, that sounds lovely. I would love to see a photo of that palette. It's been years, and looking back at it, it's kind of funny. I know my dad once broke his big toe because he went down the stairs a bit too fast, and he kind of, there was a turn, there was like a downstairs, then a little landing, and you would have to turn 90 degrees and go down a few more stairs to get to the basement. And I think he went down the first set of stairs a bit too quickly, and he just slammed into the wall at the end of the landing and broke his big toe. It's such a silly way to break a toe. It's like, well, okay, what now? Not much to be done. I do that a lot too. Oh man. Welcome to the world of ADHD. I broke my middle toe once stumbling, going up the stairs. Oh, no. Okay, I injured my toe badly enough while dancing at a wedding that it took about 2 years for it to be normal again. I didn't know that it was hurt until the next day. Oh, no. I think it didn't heal properly and some... Ah. Oh. I'll send you a photo of the pattern on Instagram. Oh, thank you so much. It's interesting because it led me to lovely Masha's watercolor. Oh no. Oh no. I with this. I was going to post this. Does anyone see that there is another pair of limited edition? Ooh. Like the carrot and cabbage ones, right? Thankfully, it was a very fun time. Masha's watercolors are dangerous indeed. Watermelon red and watermelon rind greened. I can't say that. Watermelon rind green. Tongue twister. I'm always a bit unsure of how legit something is on AliExpress. Not saying that I think it's like fakes or dupes or whatever. I just don't know. Because there's such a wide range of things available on AliExpress, from things that, you know, look quite legit and some things that don't look legit. So I'm like, how am I supposed to figure it out? So hopefully you'll be sharing photos of those, Pumpkin. Ooh, that's nice. I only heard about Addison and Sedgwick. Watermelon is the best fruit. It is a really good fruit. AliExpress is wild. It is. It is. That's a very fair assessment. Yeah, it's the same as Amazon in that it provides retail logistics. So it's a crapshoot sometimes. We'll definitely post swatches as soon as I get them. I'm really eager to see them, as you probably are anyway. I think Amazon was perhaps a little bit better before it became like a sort of a reseller mess. You know, sometimes you look up something that's quite like white label kind of stuff, you know, like really simple things like a cable, like a USB cable. And the brands will have the wildest name where it's like 7 consonants and then a E. And it's all capitalized. And you're like, I don't know what this is. Feels like the stuff that I'd find at the dollar store, but without the, you know, the branding to put it on the shelves at the dollar store. Love Addison and Sedgwick. I've never heard of these. I love their mica paints, often mixed with custom colors and not too overpowering. Powering. I can talk. I know words. Yeah, and then you find the same products with different brandings. Yep, the same exact photos too. But it's another like Buggle game kind of brand name. I'm avoiding AliExpress for the same reason I'm avoiding Amazon. They're both involved in mass surveillance and or the war machine. Blech. The exactly same product. The brand is named that an internet name that no one came up with. It's just a bunch of letters. All right, second row. Let's go. Ooh, that sounds like a really interesting, like green earth kind of hue color. It is like weaker tinting strength like you'd expect, but it re-wet really well. And I feel like there's a little bit more color to it than a lot of the green earth paints that I've tried. Like the core one is really beautiful as far as the hue goes, but it is so light. It is such a low tinting color. First row looks just gorgeous. It is beautiful. Amy, hello! These earth tones are gorgeous so far. I agree. The copper red is gonna dry out to be that, you know, like more purple, more muted, you know, like Venetian red, Mars red, English red kind of color. So the green earth is PG7. No, it's not PG23, but it looks just like it. So, what did I write? PB11. What is pigment blue 11? It's supposed to be PG7, PB11, and PY42. But it looks like a better green earth color. That's impressive. Those colors give me ideas. That's good. Looks like I missed a lot of the stream. A bit, but that's okay. Speaking of poems about you, they have a color called Florentine Green that she says is only PG23 and it's punch in the face intense. I'll have to look that up. I'm curious about this. Has anyone shopped at Artem? Is it like Alibaba and Temu? I've never heard of it. Maybe typo when it's PBR11. Doesn't look like there's PBK11. Yeah, but it kind of doesn't look like there's PBR11 in it either, so I don't know. I'll ask. I'll inquire. Oh my gosh. Wow, I was not expecting that. Holy Toledo. Wow. That one just says natural plant pigment. Dang. The copper red is really nice and rich. It's natural indigo. Oh, maybe. But it's not, it's like greenish. So it would have to be like that like green, dark green indigo kind of. I know that indigo is not just blue variant, but it's more than just it's not indigo blue. It's definitely a little bit more green than that. And this one is midnight blue. Super interesting to see this palette because blue pigments, they're a bit where the, oh, that's beautiful, where the sort of muted inorganic pigments palette fail you. Because your options are somewhat limited to Vivianite, which is beautiful, but is a very difficult paint to use because low tinting strength, it doesn't re-wet all that well and it dries really, really hard. So that's annoying. Then you have all the lapis lazuli colors that are, similar problem. Or if it's a bit of a richer color, it's going to be so expensive. And then you have the synthetic lapis lazuli, which is ultramarine blue, but it's not muted one bit, so it doesn't really fit in a muted palette. So what are your other options in terms of muted blue? Well, indigo is a natural muted blue, but it's not light fast. Perhaps Mayan blue would be an alternative because it's the way it is precipitated. Perhaps that makes it a little bit more light fast. But what else is there in terms of, there's cobalt, but cobalt is also very not muted. What else in terms of like mineral or inorganic pigments that are a bit more of a muted blue? Yeah. It is stunning, isn't it? Like these two are striking, and this one also is really, really nice. I was meaning to post swatches of a few different natural indigos I got a while back, but at least Road indigo. Ooh, oh, perhaps. I like the teal blue with the Ercolano red. And warm yellow earth. I mean, Prussian blue and Indian throne are not mineral. They're not inorganic pigments. They are organic pigments. They are muted colors, sure, but hi Kate, or hi again. Mayan blue would work. but I don't know if it's light fast because it is like indigo precipitated onto clay. I mean, if phthalo blue is not inorganic either, it's an organic pigment, so it doesn't work. With this idea of using like the Prussian blue is not an organic pigment, really. But it is so nice and smooth and transparent. Pigments of the teal. The teal, all it says is natural plant pigment. And the midnight blue, it says PB15:1, PBR7, and PB15. Isn't sodalite a blue-like pigment? It is. That could work. I wonder if I've ever seen it more of a, aside from the brand that shall not be named, and from them, I don't know if we can sort of fully trust that the paint is only sodalite. Like you have azurite too, but I think it's a similar color to lapis lazuli. Although Prussian blue contains carbon, it is not an organic pigment. Oh, interesting. So I guess it would possibly be a good blue for a sort of muted. That's interesting. Ooh, I love that. That's that porphyrite, like purple ochre kind of color. Porphyry. Ooh, I love that a lot. It was one of my favorite pigments to make myself back then. It's such an interesting muted purple with texture. I've only seen the DS Sodalite and it looks a bit like the Midnight Blue here, but with black granulation. Guessing that you're calling mineral because they can be mined. I mean, it's for some of them, some inorganic pigments are mineral pigments. You know, like all the cadmiums and the cobalts and that stuff, right? I hope I'm not too confused about that stuff. I'm trying really hard to learn, like to assimilate that knowledge, but it's not necessarily easy. I logged on to Artist Pigments and they have an entry for PB11. It is a pigment from the triaryl methane naphthyl family. Wow. Yeah, all of these are handmade paints from Red Clover Meadow. Put the link in the description after, and I'll also share it on the Discord. Because all minerals are inorganic, but not all inorganic pigments are mineral. Oh, thank you for the link, Otto. Thank you so much. Oh, they have a website. Gotta go see all it. Well, thank you so much for being here, 23. I hope you have a good Saturday. I'm not being paid. No, I get it. I get it. I'm trying to, like, it's kind of a, like, still a bit of an abstract knowledge for me. So I'm trying to, I'm trying to, like, really, like, understand it and assimilate it in my brain. I would say that one of my, man, I wonder if I'm hearing the neighbor snore. But yeah, one of the things that I'm trying to remember is that oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, like the more transparent, bright, like vibrant colors tend to be more of an organic kind of pigment, like olive phthalates, quinacridones, naphthol, azo, all of that. And since Prussian blue is usually quite transparent and quite vibrant, that's why I thought it was also an organic pigment, but I guess it's the odd one out. What kind of stock are you making, Paulo? Right, I need to label the next colors. Yes. Right. Pear green. And pine. Chicken stock, and then I freeze it. That's always a good idea. I always thought that Prussian blue was organic. It's intense and highly tinting. Yeah, that's much better said than was what I was trying to put together. Being organic just means that it has carbon. I know, but like, unless you're able to learn all of the like what pigment is in it, what category it, like, it's, it's trying to just find, like, it's a bit like using a oh man, I can't think of any words today. Hold on. Like a mnemonic, right? It's like, oh, if it's vibrant and transparent, chances are that it's organic. But yeah, I guess not. But this one anyway. CO2 has carbon in it, and it is not considered an organic molecule. Carbonates have carbon and they're not organic. Also, sometimes people think that only organic pigments are synthesized. I mean, of course, if you have had to look at, like, all the PR 101, PR 102, PY 42, PY 43, and PBR 6, PBR 7, where one of them is synthetic, so you kind of have to deal with this notion. But yeah, you are right about that. Both can be man-made, but organic pigments are man-made. Oh, that is a very pretty color. Oh, that's nice. This one I need to rinse. I've seen videos where people have that notion and say stuff like that. I have to go now, my kids are tired. Thank you so much for being here, Firecloud. I hope you have a good weekend. Good night, kiddos. Oh, it's... I think it's fine, Paulo. You're like the only chemist in here, so it's not like any of us can like contribute much to what you're saying. All we can do is listen and learn, which is fine. Let me just end with one thing I say to my students. Chemistry is the science of the exception. You know what? I wonder if, because, okay, context. In high school, I had to go with the chemistry class. And I wonder if that was something that was mentioned in there. It sounds a bit familiar. And I don't know where I could have picked that up, if not in that class. But yeah. Oh no, wait, that's not the right one. What am I doing? I wish I had a chemistry teacher like you back then. Maybe I would have. Yeah, same. My teacher was kind of wild. Not in a bad way, just a bit intense. It was not the teacher who threw staplers and chalk at the student, but it was still really intense. It was. No, it is kind of green. It is a greenish gray kind of color. Greenish brown. I made peace with the fact that people hate chemistry. Oh, the one that I hated was physics. Yeah, ultramarine blue is a fully synthetic pigment, right? Panic because I thought I was missing cardamom. Ooh, cardamom. Not a fan of chemistry. Maybe it was my professors because we just memorized the periodic table and the number of atoms. Ugh. Chemistry was my favorite science in high school. Mine was biology. Yeah. Fascinating stuff, in my opinion anyway. It's like how everything works, basically. That is how every living thing functions. That one is lovely and separating. The mountain pine is separating somewhat. And it's kind of funny because on the description of it, it says that there's no granulation, but there's definitely something happening, right? Light fastness, excellent, thin strength, medium, transparency, semi-transparent, no granulation, and low staining. There's definitely something going on there, though. I actually loved physics back in school because teacher was good, but in general, I'm more of a history, literature, and languages. Yeah, my physics, I didn't like physics because of that particular teacher. He was terrible. And now, last color I have to swatch is like the only one that's not muted in this whole selection. is gonna stand out like a fire truck at a funeral. Right? Every color is prettier than the last. I am powerfully tempted to order some, but I think part of the reason I haven't yet is shipping difficulties to the US. Yeah. Yeah, and she is I mean the maker is not in the US, so it is tricky for this one. There are other like artisan paint makers that are in the US, so that's possibly much easier for you, but yeah. Purple umber, pretty more violet than... It is highly separating, which is super interesting. It's the stop sign of the palette, seriously. The burnt umber looks like it has separation. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't settle like granulation would, and it's not really separating either, but there is definitely a bit of a texture going on, right? These are chef's kiss, in my opinion, anyway. I'm trying to like I'm looking at the colors and assessing what kind of mixes I would try next. And the one I definitely want to mix is the Pyrrole Red with the Pear Green. Then I'm like, okay, what else? Meats, not meats. Oh, gimme meats, yeah. We had to choose STEM courses to major on. Maybe the purple umber with one of the yellow earth. Purple umber, copper red, and Ercolano. It's a good favorites. I'm really tempted to get that set. We'll have to ask if they ship to Ukraine. I think they are set in Bulgaria, so possibly. I think it says on the beautiful wrapper. Yeah, made in Bulgaria. Oh, it's possible. Okay, so purple umber with Because I wanted to go to nursing, so my majors were anatomy and physiology. Oh, that sounds nice. Physiology, that sounds interesting. Not all delivery services are actually delivering drugs they're afraid to. Is the Ukrainian post is still working? So I think that if they use like the just I don't know if you say it, the national post services. Well, I can actually go to Bulgaria myself. Sometimes it's easier. Pay them a visit. What about if I come to pick them up? Physics engineering type of guy here. I like the artisanal red and the midnight blue. It does both Ukr which is national, and Nova Post, which is kind of global now. That's cool. Like, that's impressive. But yeah, like the people who sell Rosa from Ukraine, they still manage to ship the stuff out. You could meet halfway in Romania. Copper red and teal blue. I can't write. Muscle and bones involve some physics. Yeah. Pear. Ooh, yeah. Pear green and teal blue. Most of my Rosa paints were from Etsy. Olga. Yeah, and I think she is shipping from Ukraine. What about the green earth and peach? I wonder what kind of mix that would do. I've already considered going to Poland for Ars paints. Plus my cousin lives there, so I can visit. Oh, that's cool. I want to go to Bulgaria too. And make a stop near the sea. Ooh. Oh, that sounds nice. From the point of view of North America, it's particularly fascinating how you can just get in a car in Europe and just visit a bunch of countries. Just go. Over here, it's like, well, you can see a lot of empty space. And then eventually, if you do the right kind of turn, you will end up in the US. A different country, but still a lot of empty space. And nothing particularly exciting or fascinating to, like, neither the US or Canada are particularly old, so there's not like a lot of historical sites to check out, really. Everything is so far apart. A lot of empty space. Stop by Latvia and deep light. Ooh, that's dangerous. You would have to film all of that, so you can like do a European watercolor tour vlog or something. The empty spaces are some of the best part. I mean, I tend to agree, but first thing I'm actually doing after getting my driving license, my car, and my first vacation, going abroad on art supplies shopping tour. Absolutely. Empty space must be fascinating. It's its own thing, you know. You have no empty space. I mean, yes and no, right? Like, you have parks, and I think the general infrastructure of stuff is more designed for human society. Because in the idea of human society, you don't really want empty space. The Netherlands is so small, you'd be in Germany or Belgium in no time. Latvia is dangerously... yeah. A vast expanse of flatness. Oh, the doom. That's Alberta. That's the middle provinces of Canada. Flat. Fields and fields and fields. Yeah, from here in Belgium, it's less than 4 hours to get to Paris. That's like, it takes me by train. I don't remember how long it is, because one of the time that I did it, that I remember the most, the train was stuck and we sat there for a while. But like, if I want to go to Toronto, it's ridiculously long in train. We don't have any high-speed rail either, because yeah, to be in Paris in 4 hours is bonkers. Belgium for Isaro, that's a fair, yeah. Empty space, the red desert of the Northern Territory is quite scary. Hey, Sean, hello. The Australian continent is its own thing, though. I go 10 hours by train to Warsaw. But it's because I have to go through Berlin, and I'm in South Germany. Is it high speed, or is it just regular old train? Australia is not that big, but the way the globe makes it look is so weird. I think the one thing that I saw about Australia randomly that was really surprising to me is the number of time zones in it. I just don't travel, problem solved. What are you gonna do with the swatches? I keep these are my reference swatches. They're drying for now, so I'm not quite done with them yet, but usually I overlay a wow, the moisture got through to the vellum, so that vellum is going to be all crinkly. Oops. But yeah, usually I overlap a vellum that I tape at the top, and I write the pigment info, and I keep that with all my other shades like this, so that I can reference quickly what I have from what. Yeah, 3 time zones. Aren't there areas where it's like half an hour difference? Like, it was just so surprising. For me, it's 18 hours to Krakow by bus. Oof. But just an hour or 30 minutes apart. Yeah. It's like there's this overlap. Like, it's just so complicated. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep the swatches with my bunch of other swatches, and then I will also do some mixes. And sometimes I also scan all of this stuff to share. But yeah, it's mostly for reference for me when I am looking for something, or when I want to, you know, like if someone was to ask me, oh, do you have any kind of purple from this particular range? Well, I can grab this and look at it and be like, oh, do I have any purple? And say, well, dark crimson is sort of purple, and then purple umber is sort of purple as well. So that's what I have. So if someone says, oh, you don't have the dioxazine violet, I would say, no, I do not. Train is more comfy, but ticket price. Is it expensive? I mean, I can get Roman Schmal here in Kiev. There's a nice shop selling them, but there's just something so cool buying them in country of origin. I guess so. All right, I'm gonna end the stream here for today. I'm gonna let these dry, but then I'll see what I do about the tin. I guess that as long as I let them dry well, I didn't like soak them in water, so it should be fine. It's just my personal nemesis. Rust. But yeah, so I will be ending the stream here, and I will go stretch because I'm all stiff. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here today. This was a lot of fun, and I'm glad you tagged along as I swatched out these beautiful paints. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I will see you either on the Discord server, there's a link in the description, or in the next stream next Saturday. There's also a members only stream on the Thursdays, so yeah. And as always, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and don't forget to give your pets some pets if you have any pets. And aside from that, take cake and see you next time. Bye bye.